Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to By the Sea Storytime. I'm a pirate today. Do you like my eye patch? Well, today I have some helpers with me. I have Miss Shaina. Hello. And I have Queen Laura.
Hello.
And Mr. Charlie. All right, we're going to start with our welcome song. So here we go. Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today?
All right. Good job.
All right, Miss Shaina is going to read a book for us about pirates.
I know a little bit about pirates myself, so I'm going to be reading A Pirate's Guide to First Grade. Let's see here. Maybe I could get more theme. Let's see if I put on my eye patch. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen a one-eyed mermaid before? Pirate mermaid at that.
Arr, shiver me timbers, what a slobberin' most morning. Me scurvy dog slurped me kisser when I was trying to get me wink. Oh, goodness, his dog's waking him up with kisses. While I was wiping the slime from me gob, I remembered 'twas the first day of school. I leaped out of bed, shined me snappers, and got dressed double quick. Puts on me hook and me boots and me three-cornered hat, the only clothes fit for a pirate. Down in the galley I mashed me choppers on grub and drowned it with grog. Time to set sheets to the wind. It's getting ready to go. Where do you think he's going? You think he's going to school? Let's find out. Me mother was soggy with fare thee wells, fussing over this, that, and the other thing. Fair winds, I exclaimed, and headed for me ship. And a great, grand, jolly boat it was. Ahoy, me hearties, I cried, prepare to be boarded. We dropped anchor and smartly stepped forth to meet our new captain. Silver was her name, and a fine old salt was she. Captain Silver gathered us round for story time. Blimey, it was a whale of a tale. That meant it was a really good book. I'll make no bones about it. Captain Silver worked us like black dogs on a hot day. We counted and spelled till we nearly dropped, brain-addled and weary. Toward the end of the day I was feeling ragged and a wee bit downhearted. But old Silver, she frowned. Then a light shined brightly in her goggles, or her eyes. Ay, me bucko, I almost forgot. And she handed me a map where X marked the spot. I passed the mess and crossed the halls until there she blew. Me treasure. Oh, look what a treasure is. Treasure Island. What a great book. All right, now I think we're going back to Miss Judy. If she can read us a book about the ocean.
All right, everyone. I am going to read you the Under the Sea pop-up book. This one is illustrated by Gil Guile, and it is published by Bumble. Wow, look at that. Here lies the rusty wreck of a ship deep down in its ocean grave, haunted by the bones of a long-lost crew where eels and an octopus wave. This manta ray flaps its wings and soars like a bird or a bat. The other fish stare and gasping ask, "What in the ocean is that?" Whoa. Look how big that is. To hold the whole thing. The great blue whale is, if an elephant peeked into the sea, He would say in great amazement, "That thing is even bigger than me." Ooh, look at that. Let me hold it this way, you can see. See those arms? The octopus has so many arms, she can act upon any wish. Throw balls, fly, or conducting choirs of fish.
How many arms does it have, Miss Judy?
How many arms does it have? That's a good question, Miss Shaina. Do any of you know? You're right, it has 8 arms. That's why she can do so many things. Dolphins have such delightful smiles. As they race and leap to the sky, they grin and they swim and swish their fins as miles of the sea go by. Whoa, what is that? Look at those sharp teeth. Mr. Great White Shark looks very upset. His jaws are a terrifying sight. I will not think of his great big teeth when I go to sleep tonight. The turtle can hide in his shell whenever he is feeling shy. There he goes. But he peeps outside when you open this book just to see who is passing by. Oh, I love this one. Does a seahorse live in a stable? Does he gallop and race and neigh? I would go for a rocking seahorse ride if under the waves I could play. The lobster, who likes to hug you, says, "Watch out for my claws." Now, who would like to cuddle me next and kiss my feathery jaws? As Mr. Crab runs sideways, he says, "This is very hard to know. My legs are zippy and my claws are nippy, but I never know which way they will go." And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed that story. And now I have a little flannel board I'm going to do with you. Hopefully you can see that. It's called 5 Little Mermaids. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. 5 little mermaids swimming by the shore. One got caught. And then there were, how many? 4, yes. 4 little mermaids swimming in the sea. One got caught. And then there were 3. 3 little mermaids swimming in the blue. One got caught. Then there were just 2. 2 little mermaids swimming in the sun. One got caught. And then there was just 1 little mermaid left. 1 little mermaid swimming straight for home decided it was best to never, ever roam. And that is the end. Okay, since you're enjoying these sea stories, I thought you might like to watch a video about a sea creature. You would probably enjoy Baby Shark, and we have a link for you to click on to go and watch the Baby Shark video. And Miss Laura is going to read a story for us next.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. Now, I need to take my patch off a little bit to be able to read you a story. And it features one of my favorite characters, Pete the Cat. This is Pete the Cat's Treasure. Oh, and the treasure map by James Dean. Captain Pete looks across the cat cove. The sun is sparkling on the water. It's a beautiful day for an adventure. Something flies towards Captain Pete's ship. It's a parrot. Squawk, says the parrot. She gives Captain Pete a crumpled piece of paper. First Mate Kelly looks at the paper. There's a long trail that ends with an X. It's a treasure map, he says. Treasure, says First Mate Callie. Where? On Secret Island, says Captain Pete. Let's go. Woohoo, cries the crew. Treasure! Captain Pete steers the ship through the big waves. The salty wind pushes the sails. The ship is going really fast. Swoosh, splash. Good job, mateys, says Captain Pete. We'll be there in no time. Uh-oh, Captain Pete spoke too soon. He spies something coming towards them. What is that? Asks First Mate Callie. A giant arm reaches up and splashes the water. It makes sound on Pete's splash. Squawk, cries the parrot. Arr, yells the crew. They don't look very happy, do they? Kersplash! Another arm comes crashing down. The crew is scared, but not Captain Pete. He knows that the monster isn't trying to scare them. He's rocking a cool beat. Captain Pete takes out his guitar and strums. The monster rises out of the water. The crew takes cover, but the monster stops when he hears Pete playing. He nods his head along. He's not a scary sea monster. He's an awesome sea drummer. Rock on, says Captain Pete. Thanks, booms the monster. Oh no, Captain, shouts First Mate Callie. A big storm is coming. Batten down the hatches, says Captain Pete. Everyone gets ready for the storm. The waves toss the ship, but the crew is at those big waves picking up the boat. Captain Pete has an idea. Hey there, friend, he yells to the sea monster. We need some help. The monster grabs the ship with his giant arms and gives it a great big boost. The ship moves right through the storm. Hooray! Shouts the crew as the monster swims up to the boat. Thanks, friend, yells Captain Pete. No problem, booms the monster. He's got a big smile. And ho, yells First Mate Callie, pointing out over the sea. All the pirates rush to look. It's a secret island, says Captain Pete. Palm trees. On the beach, their buddy Grumpy Toad is waiting with a glittering pile of treasure. Ahoy, mateys! You got my map, Grumpy Toad says. Treasure is no fun if you can't share it with your friends. The crew is so happy they do catwheels in the sand. Thanks, Grumpy Toad, they shout. I think we're missing something, says Captain Pete. Let's play some music. What a great idea, says Grumpy Toad. The pirate into the ship. Captain Pete takes out his guitar and strums, but something is missing from his song. Our drummer, says Captain Pete as the sea monster pops his head above the waves. Would you like to join? Aye, booms the monster. Rock on, Captain Pete says as the monster joins in a rocking Pete tune. Its crew is complete. All the pirates sing, yo ho ho, a pirate's life for us. Did you like that story? I did. I thought that was really fun.
I hope you've all enjoyed our stories today. And please join us next week for another fun story time. And now we're going to sing the goodbye song.
We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye to all our friends. We wave goodbye like this. All right, good job.
Yay.
All right, we'll sing it one more time because I know for some of you that may be new. So here we go again. Ready? We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye to all our friends. We wave goodbye like